We are live on YouTube.
Awesome. All right, folks, let's welcome to our reading of Dead Poet Society, 19, if I remember right, 1989 film. And we're reading the first half of it this evening with our lovely cast, who we're going to introduce here in a sec. And then we'll jump right into our reading. So I'm going to start with player one, who is Vicky. And if you could let us know name, pronoun, where you're at, and who you're playing, that'd be awesome. And where people can find you on social media.
Hello, I'm Vicky Dykes. My pronouns are she, her. I live in Penhold, Alberta, Canada, small little town right in the middle of Alberta. Tonight I will be playing John Keating, Richard Cameron, Headmaster Nolan, Mrs. Danbury, and Gloria, and actions and descriptions in the middle and right at the end.
Awesome.
Oh, and where you can find me. I
Yes.
am on Facebook under the name Vicky Dykes, and I'm on Instagram. I'm YogaGramma10.
Awesome. I'm going to jump down to Anamika and then Aubrey.
Hi, my name is Anamika. My pronouns are she, her. I'm in California, and tonight I'm going to be reading Neil and a couple of other students who I don't have up right now, but don't worry, Kat, I know who they are. And you can find me on Facebook.
Awesome. Okay. Aubrey.
Hello, everybody. I am Aubrey McCoy. My pronouns are, I don't know. I respond to everything. And you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube and Spotify under Aubrey McCoy or Lucy in the Fair. I am in California. I'm doing this all backwards right now. Anyways, I am playing the part mainly of Todd Anderson and the chemistry teacher and a couple others, Bubba and someone. I think or no one. Anyways, that's who I'm playing, and gonna have a great time.
Awesome. Heather.
Hello, my name is Heather Lee Cameron. I'm a writer, like a freelance journalist. I'm an actor and I'm a creative freelancer. Tonight, I will be playing Chris Noel, Charlie Dalton, and doing some action and descriptions. I can be found in a few different miniseries that are available online, and as well as some other things that are available online, as well as some voice acting. I am very happy to be here. I'm from Lethbridge, Alberta, and that's in Canada, but I'm a dual citizen, so kudos to that. That's awesome. And I can be found on YouTube under the Storm and Latter-day Saint, Instagram under Heather Lee Cameron, or on Facebook under Heather Lee Cameron or Heather Lee Freelancer.
Awesome. All right, let's jump down to John.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Clarence Gomez from Manila, Philippines. I'm a podcast host, singer, and blogger, and I am playing as Hopkins, Stephen Mix, Pitts, Latin teacher, John Danbury, Voice from a Womb, director, Guy, Angry Guy, and I'm also doing the actions and descriptions 9 and 13.
Awesome.
You can find me on Instagram called the John Clarence Gomez Show. And you can listen to my podcast, The John Clarence Gomez Show, on Apple Podcast and Spotify. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank you so much for joining us on your birthday, nonetheless.
Yes.
And then Haley.
Today is my birthday.
Happy birthday. Hello, everyone. My name is Haley Bayermeister. I am coming to you from Houston, Texas. I am excited to be reading Knox Overstreet. I will be reading also Mr. Perry and Mr. Hager, a couple of the adults in it, right? And a couple of little student bit parts, and then a few actions and descriptions. And I'm really stoked to be back with Table Read Tuesdays. Yes, and I love this movie. So you can find me on Instagram, Hasty247. Weird, I know, it's fine. Haley Elizabeth on Facebook, and then if you want to see anything that I've done on YouTube, it's an easy well, because of my last name being actually Bayermeister, it's an easy search. But yeah, it's HAYLEYBEIERMEISTER. Maybe at some point when we do the talk back, I'll put how you spell my last name in there. But yeah, that's
Cool.
it. Mhm.
And I am Kat Wilson, she, her, from Gig Harbor, Washington. Tonight I'll be reading mostly, Vicki and I will be alternating John Keating. So she'll start off and we'll be, every other time he comes on, we'll switch. And then a roll of Ginny and a few actions and descriptions in 2 and 15. And on social media, you can find me, if I'm not here on Tuesdays, you can find me on Saturdays at Two Households in Fair Corona, a Shakespeare reading group, and occasionally elsewhere online too. All right, so without further ado, I think we're going to jump into this script. I'm going to pull it up here on our screen and let's see, we'll get going. So there is our script there. Oops, sorry, wrong one. Wrong one. I know it looks like the script, but it's not. This is the one I want. There we go. Can you guys see that?
Yes. Yes, we
Yes.
see.
I
Yes, we see.
Did it get smaller?
It just looks like a white page to me.
Yeah,
Oh, it
me
just looks like a
too.
white page. Okay.
that's what it looks like to me. Yes.
All right, let me try that again. Let's go here. I'll probably clicked the wrong one.
I think there's a way to take the tools off at the top too.
I know, and I wish I
There
could
we
figure
go.
out how to do
Yay.
it, but
There we go.
You're fine. It's okay. I don't know how to do that often.
could do it as I do this maybe. How's that? Is that any better?
Yes.
That's great.
All right, so back up here to the title, and our first action description is Aubrey, so you are free to take it away.
Awesome. Dead Poet Society by John Schulman, 1989. He whom dream hath possessed knoweth no more doubting. O'Sheil. Section 1, first day of school. Interior, Welton Academy, dining hall. Day, various shots. Credits roll. On the left side is a life-size mural depicting a group of young schoolboys looking up adoringly at a woman who represents liberty. On the right is a mural showing young men gathered around an industrialist in a corporate boardroom. Between the murals stands a boy. An odd, blaring musical sound starts and stops, interrupted by the noise of plumbing. A teacher hurries to the boy, adjusts his tie, and leads him off. On another wall is a full-size portrait of a 19th century Scotsman in a kilt. In front of this, young boys carrying banners and several elderly men in old-fashioned costumes assembling into a processional formation. Nervous younger boys, 7th graders, are shown in their places in line and handed candles. They light each other's candles until all their candles are lit. Suddenly, the music blasts forth in its splendor. It is a bagpiper in a kilt, like the one in the portrait, begins a processional march. Interior corridor adjacent the dining room, same. The bagpiper enters a long slate and stone hallway. The haunting limbre of his antiquated instrument reverberates through the building. Momentarily, he is followed by the other processional marchers. He leads them down the corridor and down a threshold staircase into Interior Welton's old stone chapel continuous. There are 200 high school-aged boys, most of whom wear black blazers, sit on either side of the central aisle. Watching the procession move into the dais in front. Besides, most of these boys are their parents. Various angles on the procession. 4 16-year-old boys carry banners. Each boy is dressed in an archaic turn-of-the-century outfit. On each banner is emblazoned a different word. One reads tradition, another reads honor, the third reads discipline, and the last reads excellent. The elderly men in their 70s and SOS, obviously the school's oldest alumni, each wearing a name tag and the uniform of his day, make their way towards the stage. The seventh graders carried candles, are nervous and self-conscious. Most concentrate intently on keeping their candles lit while they search. One young boy's candle has gone out, and he can barely keep from crying. The bagpiper stands on the corner of the dais, marching in place. Behind him, in black robes, sits the school's 30-odd teachers. The processional's elderly alumni fill the chairs of honor on the dais. The four young banner carriers peel off from the main aisle and take their seats beside their parents in the audience. The seventh graders take seats with their parents too. A purple and black-robed man who brings up the rear of the procession walks up to the podium. He is the headmaster Gale of Nolan, a big man in his mid-60s. The music stops.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished alumni and students, this year marks the 100th year that Welton Academy has been in existence.
Applause begins. Soon the whole room is standing in a thunderous ovation. After an appropriate amount of time, Nolan motions for everyone to be seated.
100 years ago, in 1859, 41 boys sat in this room and were asked the same question that now greets you at the start of each semester. Gentlemen, what are the 4 pillars?
All the students stand at attention. First, Todd Anderson, sitting behind his parents. Todd is 16, good looking, but he seems beaten down, lacking confidence, unhappy. He wears a name tag and no Welton blazer. When the others stand, Todd's mother nudges him. Todd stands. He watches as the other students.
Tradition,
Honor,
discipline,
Honor,
excellence.
excellence.
All the boys sit. Todd sits too. All is silent again.
In her first year, Welton Academy graduated 5 students. Last year, we graduated 51, and over 75% of those went to the Ivy League.
Applause. Applause. During it, we find Knox Overstreet and Charlie Dalton, both 16, and both in Welton blazers. Knox, sitting between his parents, carries a banner. He has curly hair, looks outgoing, is short but well-built. Charlie, also with his parents, has a handsome yet friendly face. He carries no banner, but when Nolan mentions Ivy League, both these boys fit the bill.
This kind of accomplishment is the result of fervent dedication to the principles taught here. This is why you parents have been sending us your sons, and this is why we are the best preparatory school in the United States. New students?
All turn to look at the new students, the 7th graders and transfer students. Todd Anderson is among them, and he looks incredibly self-conscious.
The key to our success rests on our 4 pillars. These are the bywords of this school, and they will become the cornerstones of your lives. Welton Society candidate, Richard Cameron.
In the audience, not far from Todd, is Richard Cameron, one of the banner carriers, 16. His father's little clone. He stands eagerly to attention, too eagerly.
Yes, sir. What is tradition? Tradition, Mr. Nolan, is love of school, country, and family. Our tradition at Welton is to be the best. Good, Mr. Cameron. Welton Society candidate, George Hopkins, honor.
Cameron sits. His father beams smugly.
Honor is dignity.
Honor is dignity in the fulfillment of duty.
Good, Mr. Hopkins. Honor Society candidate, Knox Overstreet.
Knox, as mentioned, is a banner holder. He stands.
Yes, sir.
What is discipline?
Discipline is respect for parents, teachers, headmaster, Discipline comes from within.
Thank you, Mr. Overstreet. Honor candidate, Neil Perry.
Knox sits. Knox's proud father and mother give him pats of encouragement. Neil Perry stands. Whereas some boys have 2 or 3 achievement pins on their lapels of their coats, Neil has a huge cluster of them on the pocket of his jacket. Neil is 16, intense, a born leader. However, there is more of a hint of anger and dissatisfaction in his eyes. Beside him sits his unsmiling father, Mr. Perry.
Excellence, Mr. Perry.
Excellence is the result of hard work. Excellence is the key to all success in school and everywhere.
Neil sits. He doesn't even look at his father, nor does his father look at him.
Gentlemen, at Welton, you will work harder than you have ever worked in your lives, and your reward will be the success that all of us expect of you. I would now like to call to the podium Welton's oldest living graduate, Mr. Alexander Carmichael, Jr., class of 1866.
An octogenarian on stage shuns help from those beside him and makes his way slowly, excruciatingly slowly, to the podium as the audience rises to another standing ovation. Dissolve 2. Exterior, Welton Academy, main lawn, day. Welton Academy is a cluster of traditional weathered stone buildings. The time is 1959, but at Welton, this is irrelevant. This school, with its traditions, is completely isolated from the politics or trends from the outside world. The students stand with their parents under a giant tent. Finger food, coffee, tea, and punch are cut on white cloth tables. Charlie's mother stands dotingly fixing Charlie's hair. Then she kisses him. Knox's father has his hand affectionately around his son. Mr. Perry stands adjusting the achievement pins on Neil's jacket. Todd Anderson's parents stand chatting with another couple, paying no attention to Todd, who looks very much alone. Mr. Nolan walks by and looks at Todd's name tag.
Oh, Mr. Anderson, you have some big shoes to fill, young man. Your brother was one of our best.
Thank you. Neil's father, Neil in tow, approaches Nolan and interrupts.
Gail, what's this? I hear about a new junior English teacher.
Oh, Mr. Gladden took the headmaster's post at Malford, so we've hired John Keating.
A former student, I hear.
A star student, Mr. Perry, and he's spent the last 10 years teaching at the Macmillan School in Edinburgh.
Oh, Macmillan.
Nolan looks around. He finds, then indicates. Across the lawn, a black-robed teacher stands with his back to us, staring at the beautiful Welton Lake. As if he sensed he was being watched, he turns and faces us. This is John Keating, late 30s, sparkling eyes. Nolan puts his arm on Mr. Perry's shoulder and leads him off.
Come, meet him. You'll like him.
We watch Mr. Nolan escort Mr. Perry across the lawn and introduce him to Mr. Keating, who walks up to greet them. Todd stands alone, looking around. Neil Perry, now left alone, does the same. Both watches other students saying goodbye to their parents. Exterior, the Welton Academy parking lot, day. The 7th graders are saying goodbye to their parents. Chins quiver, young eyes hold back tears. Some boys sob. For most of these young boys, this is the first time. For most of these young boys, this is the first time in their lives that they will be away from their parents and their homes. And it is a devastating experience. Exterior long shot, Welton Academy, same. Welton Academy sits a lonely and isolated valley in woods of Vermont. Though the setting is beautiful, its isolation only highlights the loneliness that most 7th graders feel at this moment.
Interior, Welton Academy, oak-paneled honor room day. The 50 or so members of the junior class sit in chairs or stand around the room. The students that were featured earlier are here. Todd Anderson, Neil Perry, Knox Overstreet, Charlie Dalton, Richard Cameron. All except Todd wear Welton blazers. Todd sticks out, and he knows it. A staircase against the wall leads to a second-floor door. That door opens, and down the stairs file 5 boys. An old teacher, Dr. Hager, comes to the door and calls out 5 names.
Overstreet, Perry, Dalton, Anderson, Cameron.
These boys file up the staircase. As they do, a seated boy, Pitts, leans to the boy next to him, Stephen Meeks. Meeks has a sweet egghead looks and very short hair. He wears a pocket watch and a chain.
Who's the new boy? Anderson.
Old Hager sees his conversation.
Misters Pitts and Meeks, Demerits.
Pitts and Meeks look down. Pitts glances at Meeks and rolls his eyes.
That's another demerit, Mr. Pitts.
Pitts' smile vanishes. Hager closes the door. Interior headmaster's office the same. The 5 boys take seats in a row of chairs facing Mr. Nolan. Nolan sits behind his desk, a hunting dog on the floor beside him.
Welcome back, Mr. Dalton. How's your father?
Doing fine, sir.
Your family moved into that new house, Mr. Overstreet?
Yes, sir. About a month ago.
Wonderful. I hear it's beautiful. Mr. Anderson, since you're new here, let me explain that at Welton I assign extracurricular activities on the basis of merit and desire. Now, these activities are taken every bit as seriously as your classwork. Right, boys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Failure to attend required meetings will result in demerits. Mr. Dalton, the school paper, the service club, soccer, rowing. Mr. Overstreet, Welton Society candidates, the school paper, soccer, Sons of Alumni Club. Mr. Perry, Welton Society candidates, chemistry club, mathematics club, school annual soccer. And Mr. Cameron, Welton Society candidates, debate club, rowing, service club, forensics, honor council. Mr. Anderson, based on your record at Ballincrest, soccer, service club, school annual, anything else I don't know about?
Todd struggles. He looks like he's trying to speak, but nothing is coming out of his mouth.
Oh, speak up, Mr. Anderson.
I would prefer rowing, sir.
It is apparent that Todd's fear of speaking is overwhelming. Nolan looks at him.
Rowing? Did he say rowing? It says here you played soccer at Ballincrest.
I did, but
Sweat breaks out on Todd's brow. He clenches his hands, turning his knuckles white. He looks like he's going to burst into tears. The other boys look at him.
You'll like soccer here, Anderson. Dismissed.
The boys stand and exit. Todd looks absolutely miserable. The teacher at the door calls out more names. Exterior Welton campus day. The students walk toward their dorms. Neil Perry approaches Todd Anderson, who walks alone. Neil offers his handshake.
And we're going to be roommates. Neil Perry.
Todd Anderson.
Todd keeps walking. There's an awkward silence.
Why'd you leave Ballincrest?
My brother went here.
Oh, so you're that Anderson.
Interior junior dorm room lobby continuous. Neil and Todd have walked into the dorm lobby.
My parents wanted me here all along, but my grades weren't good enough. I had to go to Ballincrest to pull them up.
Well, you've won the booby prize. Don't expect to like it here.
I don't.
Interior, the Welton Junior Class dormitory room, day. Each small room contains 2 single beds, 2 closets, and 2 desks. Suitcases sit on the floor. Neil enters, and Richard Cameron sticks in his head.
Heard you got the new boy. He's a hell of a speaker, huh? Oops.
Todd Anderson walks in. Cameron ducks out. Todd has heard Cameron's comment, but he ignores it. He puts his suitcase on his bed and begins unpacking.
Don't mind Cameron. He's an asshole.
There's a knock at the door. Knox Overstreet, Charlie Dalton, and Stephen Meeks enter. Charlie speaks to Neil.
Hey, I heard you went to summer school.
Yeah, chemistry. My father thought I should get ahead.
Well, Meeks aced Latin and I didn't quite flunk English, so if you want, we've got our study group.
Yeah, sure, but Cameron asked me too. Anybody mind including him?
What's his specialty? Brown nosing?
Some chuckle.
Hey, he's your roommate.
That's not my fault.
Nobody's excited about Cameron, but no one objects.
I don't think we've met. I'm Steven Meeks.
Todd Anderson.
Knox and Charlie offer Todd handshakes.
Charlie Dalton.
Knox, Overstreet.
Todd shakes their hands.
Todd's brother is Jeffrey Anderson.
Oh, yeah, sure. Valedictorian, National Merit Scholar.
Todd nods affirmative.
Well, welcome to Helton.
It's every bit as hard as they say, unless you're a genius like Meeks.
He flatters me, so I'll help him with Latin.
And English, and trig.
Meeks smiles. There's a knock on the door.
It's open.
Neil's father enters. Neil is surprised.
Oh, Father, I thought you'd gone.
All the boys stand.
Mr. Perry,
Mr. Perry,
keep your seats, boys. How's it going?
fine, sir.
Neil,
Thank you.
yeah. Neil, I've decided that you're taking too many extracurricular activities. I've spoken to Mr. Nolan about it, and you can work on the school annual next year.
But Father, I'm assistant editor.
I'm sorry, Neil.
But Father, it's not fair.
Fellows, would you excuse us for a minute?
Mr. Perry walks into the hall. Neil follows. Interior, the junior dormitory hallway, the same.
I will not be disputed in public. Do you understand me?
Father, I wasn't disputing you.
This school, medical school, and you're on your own? You can do as you please. Until then, you will listen to me.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
You know what this means to your mother, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Using the pressures of guilt and punishment, Mr. Perry is the most subtle of bullies. Neil's resolve crumbles in front of his authoritarian father. Neil fills the pause.
You know me, always taking on too much.
Good boy. Call us if you need anything.
He turns and walks off. Interior Neil's room, the others wait in silence. A chastened Neil enters.
Why doesn't he let you do what you want?
Yeah. Yeah, tell him off. It couldn't get any worse.
Oh, that's rich. Like you tell your parents off, Mr. Future Lawyer and Mr. Future Banker.
Neil takes the school annual achievement pin off his shirt and hurls it at his desk.
Wait a minute. I don't let my parents walk on me.
Well, yeah, you just do everything they say. You'll be in Daddy's law firm as sure as I'm standing here, and you'll be approving loans until you croak.
Okay, so I don't like it any more than you do. I'm just saying.
And don't tell me how to talk to my father when you're the same way, all right?
Right. Jesus. What are you going to do?
What I have to do. Screw the annual.
I certainly wouldn't lose any sleep over it. It's just a bunch of people trying to impress Nolan.
Yes, screw it all. I don't give a damn about any of it.
He slams his hand into his pillow and lies back silently. Everyone is quiet, sensing Neil's disappointment. Finally, Charlie breaks the silence.
I don't know about anyone else, but I could use a refresher in Latin. 8 o'clock in my room?
Yeah, sure.
You're welcome to join us, Todd.
Yeah, come along.
Thank you.
The boys leave. Neil lies in silence. He sees the achievement pin that he threw and he picks it up. Todd continues to unpack. He unpacks a photo of his mother and father with their arms around an older boy who is obviously Todd's brother, Jeffrey. Todd stands at one side, slightly apart from the family group. Todd unpacks an engraved leather desk set, pens, blotter, etc., and puts it on his desk.
So, what do you think of my father?
I'll take him over mine.
What?
Nothing.
Todd, if you're gonna make it around here, you gotta speak up. The meek might inherit the earth, but they don't get into Harvard. Know what I mean?
Todd nods.
Ah, the goddamn bastard.
He presses the point of the metal presses the metal point of the pin into his thumb, drawing blood. Todd winces. Neil doesn't. Neil hurls the pin again.
All right. Interior, a chemistry classroom day. The classroom is a laboratory filled with flasks, etc. Neil, Todd, Knox, Charlie, Cameron, Meeks, and other members of the junior class sit around the room. A bespectacled teacher stands in front, passing out thick textbooks.
In addition to the assignments in the text, you will each pick 3 lab experiments from the project list and report on one every 5 weeks. The first 20 problems at the end of chapter 1 are due tomorrow.
Angle on Charlie Dalton as the thick textbooks arrive at his desk. He shoots a disbelieving glance at Knox Overstreet, who can only acknowledge with a shake of his head. Todd takes his books without reacting. Interior Latin class day. The same students sit before a Latin teacher in his early 60s. He declines a Latin noun with a thick Scottish brogue.
Agricola, agricolae, agricolas, agricolas, agricolatis, agricolatus.
Angle favoring Todd, Neil, Knox, and the others as they struggle to follow along with McAllister's lesson. Interior mathematics class day. Mathematical charts hang on the walls. The elderly bald teacher, the one from Nolan's doorway, Dr. Hager, passes out books. The students' workload is huge.
Your study of trigonometry requires absolute precision. Anyone failing to turn in any homework assignment will be penalized 1 point off his final grade. Let me urge you now not to test me on this point. Who would like to begin by defining a cosine?
Richard Cameron stands.
Cosine is the sin of the complement of an angular arc. If we defined an angle A, then...
Interior English classroom day. The junior students, Todd, Neil, Knox, Charlie, Cameron, Meeks, and some of the others we've seen, enter. They are loaded down with books and look weary. Sitting at the front of the room, staring out the window, is John Keating, the teacher we glimpsed earlier. He wears a collared shirt, tie, no jacket. The boys take seats and settle in. Keating stares out the window a long time. The students start to shuffle uncomfortably. Finally, Keating stands, picks up a yardstick, and begins slowly strolling the aisles. He stops and stares into the face of one of the boys.
Don't be embarrassed.
He moves off, then stops in front of Charlie Dalton.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Ha!
Keating slaps his free hand with the yardstick, then strides to the front of the room.
Nimble young minds.
He steps up onto the desk, turns and faces the class.
Oh, Captain, my Captain. Who knows where that's from?
No one raises a hand.
It was written by a poet named Walt Whitman about Mr. Abraham Lincoln. In this class, you may refer to me as either Mr. Keating or, oh, Captain, my Captain.
Keating steps down and starts strolling the aisles.
So that I become the source of as few rumors as possible, let me tell you that, yes, I was a student at this institution many moons ago. And no, at that time I did not possess this charismatic personality. However, should you choose to emulate my manner, it can only help your grade. Now, pick up a textbook from the back, gentlemen, and let's retire to the honor room.
He steps off the desk and walks out. The students sit, not sure what to do, then realize they are to follow him. They quickly gather their books, pick up texts, and follow. Interior, the Welton Oak paneled honor room day. This is the room where the boys waited earlier. The walls are lined with class pictures dating back into the 1800s. School trophies of every description fill trophy cases and shelves. Keating leads the students in, then faces the class.
Mr. Pitts. An unfortunate name. Stand up, Mr. Pitts.
Pitt stands.
Open your text, Pitts, to page 40 and read for us the first stanza of the poem.
Pitts looks through his book. He finds the poem.
To the virgins to make much of time.
That's the one.
Giggles in the class. Pitts reads.
Gather ye was but while ye may all time is still applying, and this same flower that smiles today, tomorrow will be dying.
Gather ye rosebuds while ye may. The Latin term for that sentiment is carpe diem. Anyone know what that means?
Carpe diem, seize the day.
Very good, Mr.
Mix.
Meeks. Seize the day while you're young. See that you make use of your time. Why does the poet write these lines?
Because he's in a hurry.
Because we're food for worms, lads. Because we're only going to experience a limited number of springs, summers, and falls. One day, hard as it is to believe, each and every one of us is going to stop breathing, turn cold, and die. Now, stand up and peruse the faces of the boys who attended this school 60 or 70 years ago. Oh, don't be timid. Go and look at them.
The boys get up. Todd, Neil, Knox, Meeks, etc. go over to the class pictures that line the honor room walls. Angles on various pictures on the walls. Faces of young men stare at us from out of the past.
They're not that different than any of you, are they? There's hope in their eyes, just like in yours. They believe themselves destined for wonderful things, just like many of you. Well, where are those smiles now, boys? What of that hope?
The boys are staring at the pictures, sobered by what Keating is saying.
Did most of them not wait until it was too late before making their lives into even one iota of what they were capable? In chasing the almighty deity of success, did they not squander their boyhood dreams? Most of these gentlemen are fertilizing daffodils. However, if you get very close, boys, you can hear them whisper. Go ahead, lean in. Hear it? Goddamn, lads, seize the day. Make your lives extraordinary.
Todd, Neil, Knox, Charlie, Cameron, Meeks, Pitts all stare into the pictures on the wall. All are lost in thought. Exterior, the Welton campus day. The class files out of the honor room. Todd, Neil, Knox, Charlie, Cameron, Meeks, and Pitts walk together, books in hand. All are thinking about what just happened in class.
Weird.
Different.
Spooky, if you ask me.
You think he's gonna test us on that stuff?
Oh, come on, Cameron. Don't you get anything? Exterior of the Welton campus, continuous.
How about a twig study group right after dinner?
Sure.
Sure. Good by me.
I can't make it. I got to sign out to have dinner at the Danbury's house.
Who are the Danburys?
Big Alum. How'd you pull that?
They're friends of my dad, probably in their 90s or something.
Yeah, listen, anything's better than mystery meat.
I'll second that. The group disperses. Neil finds himself walking near Todd, who has been silent through this whole discussion.
Want to come to the study group?
Oh, thanks, but I'd better do history.
Interior Todd and Neil's dorm room, late afternoon. Todd enters alone. He puts down his books and sits at his desk. Flipping through the stack of books in front of him, he sighs at the workload that is piling up. Todd takes out his notebook and opens his history book. He stares at his notebook for a moment, then writes, "Seize the day," in big letters. He looks the words that he's written, sighs, tears the page off, then plunges into his homework.
Exterior, the Welton campus dusk, wide shot. The autumnal colors are muted by the onset of nightfall. Old Dr. Hager drives the school woody station wagon out of the campus. Exterior, Walton Village, Newcastle, dusk, woody drive-by. Exterior, interior, large mansion, dusk. Knox Overstreets get out of the woody. Dr. Hager pulls away. Knox walks over to the door of the home and, is admitted by a maid. Knox is amazed by this palatial home. Interior, the Danbury Mansion Library, dusk. Joe Danbury is a sharp-looking man of about 40, well-dressed, friendly. His wife, an attractive blonde about the same age, sits beside him.
Knox, come in. Joe Dunbury. This is my wife, Janet.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, you're the spitting image of your father. How is he?
Great. Just did a big case for GM.
I know where you're headed. Like father, like son, eh? Jeannie, come meet Knox.
Penny Danbury, 15, cute, shy, a shock of misplaced hair, enters.
Knox, this is our daughter, Virginia.
Jenny, Mom.
Knox shakes her hand. His hello is polite. Her hi is shy. Chet Danbury, a tall jock of a guy a couple of years older than Knox, enters. With him is a lovely teenage brunette, Chris Noel, in a short tennis dress. Soft, glowing eyes, athletic figure. This girl is stunning.
Chet. Who's Chet?
Aubrey?
Oh, is that me? I apologize. Dad, can I take the Buick?
What's wrong with your car?
Chet, where are your manners? Knox, this is my son Chet and his girlfriend Chris Noel, and this is Knox Overstreet. Excuse me while I check on dinner.
Hi.
Knox shakes Chet's hand. Knox is thunderstruck by Chris. Chris offers Knox her hand and a smile. Knox shakes her hand, his mouth practically hanging open.
Pleased to meet you.
The pleasure is mine.
Come on, Dad. Why is this always a big deal?
Because I bought you a sports car and suddenly you want my car all the time.
Chris's mom feels safer when we're in a bigger car. Right, Chris?
Chet shoots her a wicked smile. Chris blushes.
It's all right, Chet.
It's not all right. Come on, Dad.
Joe Danbury walks out of the room. Chet follows him.
Come on, Dad.
Knox, Ginny, and Chris remain in the room. Knox smiles at Chris.
Where are you in school?
Ridgeway High. How's Henley Hall, Jen?
Okay.
Ginny?
It's
That's
okay.
your sister's school, right?
Sort of.
You going out for the Henley Hall play? They're doing A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Maybe?
How did you meet Chet? I mean,
He plays on the Ridgeway football team, and I'm a cheerleader. He used to go to Welton, but he flunked out. You should do it, Jen. You'd be great.
Jenny looks down shyly. Chet comes to the door.
Chris, we got it. Let's go.
Nice meeting you, Knox. Bye, Jen.
Yeah, nice meeting you, Chris.
Chris and Chet exit. Through the window, we see Chet and Chris walk out and put their arms around each other.
Chet just wants to Buick so they can go parking.
Oh,
Outside, Chet and Chris get in the Buick and kiss. Knox stares with envy.
Something wrong?
nah.
Exterior Danbury House, dusk. Chet and Chris drive off. Interior, junior class lounge, night. The dorm is quiet. Neil, Cameron, Weeks, Charlie, and Pitts are gathered studying math. As they do, Pitts works to assemble a small crystal radio. Todd is in his room studying alone. Knox, looking shell-shocked, shuffles into the lobby.
How was dinner?
Terrible, awful. I met the most beautiful girl I've ever seen in my life.
Are you crazy? What's wrong with that?
Practically engaged to the Chet Danbury, like Mr. Armando Jocko himself.
Too bad.
It's not too bad. It's a tragedy. Why does she have to be in love with a jerk?
All the good ones go for jerks. You know that? Forget her. Take out your twig book and figure out problem 12.
I can't just forget about her, Pitts. And I certainly can't think about math.
Sure you can. You're up on a tangent, so you're halfway into twig already.
Mix.
I thought it was clever.
You really think I should forget about her?
You have another choice.
Knox drops to his knee like he is proposing.
Only you, Pitsy.
Pitts pushes Knox away. Knox sits back down, but despair is beginning to wash over him.
Section 5, more lessons. Exterior Welton campus, morning. The Weltons bagpiper marches on the lawn practicing. Students emerge from their dorms and head to breakfast. Interior Keating's English class, day. The lights are out and the shades are down. The lights are out and the shades are drawn. Keating sits in a chair beside the teacher's desk. He looks solemn. All is still.
I'm going to pause recording for just a sec because I'm having some camera issues.
Oh no.
Yes, I'm going to see if I can switch cameras here real quick.
Okay.
Let's see here. If that helps. Come on. There we go. All right. That happens sometimes. All right, here we go back to... Oops. That worked. There we go.
There you go.
Boys, quietly open your text to page 54.
The boys follow instructions. Keating reads the following, and can you go back up just a tiny bit? Oh, thank you. The boys follow instruction. Keating reads the following in a tone of quiet reverence.
Little Boy Blue by Eugene Field. The little toy dog is covered with dust, but sturdy and staunch he stands. And the little toy soldier is red with rust, and his musket molds in his hands. Time was when the little toy dog was new, and the soldier was passing fair. And that was a time when our little boy Blue kissed them and put them there. Now don't you go till I come, he said, and don't you make any noise. So toddling off to his trundle bed, he dreamt of pretty toys. And as he was dreaming, an angel song awakened our little boy Blue. Oh, the years are many, the years are long, but the little toy friends are true, and faithful to little boy Blue they stand, each in the same old place, awaiting the touch of a little hand, the smile of a little face. And as they wonder, as waiting the long years through, in the dust of that little chair, what has become of our little boy Blue since he kissed them and put them there?
Keating is a masterful reader. With his marvelous voice, he has milked this sentimental poem for everything it is worth. Many of the boys are on the verge of tears. Suddenly, Keating shouts.
Ah!
Students jump halfway out their chairs.
Treacle! Mawkish treachery! Treacle, rip it out of your books! Rip out the entire page! I want the sentimental rubbish in the trash where it belongs.
He marches down the aisles with the trash can and waits for each boy to deposit the pages from his textbook. The boys, having been led down the sentimental path, cannot help but laugh at the sudden change of mood.
Make a clean tear. I want nothing left of it. Eugene Field. Disgraceful.
And here McAllister's classroom day. Mr. McAllister, the Scottish Latin teacher, exits his room and walks down the hall to Keating's classroom. He peeks in the door window and sees boys ripping pages out of their books. Alarmed, McAllister opens the door and enters Keating's room. Here, Keating's classroom name. McAllister is about to reprimand the boys when suddenly he sees Keating.
What the? Sorry, I didn't think you were in here, Mr. Keating.
Baffled and embarrassed, McAllister exits. Keating strides back to the front of the classroom, fills the trash can in the floor, and jumps into it. He stomps the trash a few times and kicks the can away.
This is battle, boys. War. Your souls are at a critical juncture. Either you will succumb to the will of hoi polloi and the fruit will die on the vine, or you will triumph as individuals. It may be a coincidence that part of my duties are to teach you about romanticism, but let me assure you, I take that task quite seriously. You will learn what the school wants you to learn in my class, but if I do my job properly, you will also learn a great deal more. You will learn to savor language and words because they are the stepping stones to everything you might endeavor to do in life and do well. A moment ago, I used the term hoi polloi. Who knows what it means? Come on, Overstreet, you twerp. Anderson, are you a man or Boyle?
More laughter. All eyes are on Todd. He visibly tenses all over. He cannot bring himself to speak. He shakes his head jerkily. No. Meeks raises his hand and speaks.
The hot polloi, doesn't it mean the herd?
Precisely, Meeks. Greek for the herd. However, be warned that when you say the hoi polloi, you are actually saying the herd, indicating that you too are hoi polloi.
Keating grins wryly. Meeks smiles. More chuckles. Keating paces to the back of the room.
Now, many will argue that 19th century literature has nothing to do with business school or medical school. They think we should read our Field and Pipple, learn our rhyme and meter, and quietly go about the business of achieving other ambitions.
He slams his hand on the wall behind him. The wall becomes like a drum. The boys jump and turn around.
Well, I say drivel. One reads poetry because he's a member of the human race, and the human race is filled with passion. Medicine, law, banking, these are necessary life to sustain life. But poetry, romance, love, beauty, these are what we stay alive for. I read from Whitman. Oh me, oh life of the questions of these recurring, oh the endless trains of the faithless of cities filled with the foolish skipping. What good are these? Oh me, oh life, answer. That you are here, that life exists and identity, that the powerful play goes on and you may contribute a verse.
Keating pauses. The class sits, taking the sun.
That the powerful play goes on and you may contribute a verse. Incredible! Poetry's rapture, lads. Without it, we are doomed.
Keating waits a long moment.
What will your verse be?
Close on the faces of Neil, Knox, Charlie, Meeks, Cameron, Pitts, and Todd as they contemplate this question. Softly, Keating breaks the mood.
Let's open our textbooks to page 60 and learn about the Wordsworth notion of romanticism.
On the dais, in front of the room as the teacher's dining table, Interior Welton dining room day, there we go. On the dais in front of the room is the teacher's dining table. Below them are the students' tables. Mr. McAllister seats to Keating's right.
Quite an interesting class you had today, Mr. Keating.
Sorry if I shocked you.
No need to apologize. It was quite fascinating, misguided thought it was.
You heard it all?
You're hardly a Trappist monk.
McAllister smiles. So does Keating.
You take a big risk encouraging them to be artists. John, when they realize they're not Rembrandts or Shakespeare or Picasso's, they'll hate you for it.
Not artists, George. Free thinkers. And I hardly peg you as a cynic.
A cynic? A realist. Show me the heart unfettered by foolish dream and I'll show you a happy man.
He chews a bite.
But I will enjoy listening to your lecture.
Keating grins with amusement. Another angle of the dining room, same. Todd, Knox, Charlie, Cameron, Pitts, and Meeks sit at a table eating. Neil enters and joins them.
Found his senior annual in the library.
Neil opens the annual and reads.
Captain of the soccer team, editor of the annual, Cambridge bound, man most likely to do anything. Bye, man. Dead Poet Society.
Hands grab the old annual away from Neil.
Thy man, Mr. K was a hellraiser.
What is the Dead Poets Society?
Any group pictures in the annual?
Nothing, no mention of it.
No one.
Mr. Nolan approaches the boys' table. Under the table, Cameron insistently hands the annual to Todd. Todd looks at Cameron, then takes it.
Enjoying your classes, Mr. Perry?
Yes, sir, very much.
And our Mr. Keating? Finding him interesting, boys?
Yes, sir. We were just talking about that.
Good. We're very excited about him. He was a Rhodes Scholar, you know.
Nolan exits. Todd looks at the annual that he hides in his lap under the table, then continues eating.
Section 6, the Dead Poets Society. Exterior, the campus, later. Keating walks across the school lawn wearing his sport coat and a scarf, carrying his books. Pitts, Neil, Cameron, Knox, Charlie, Meeks, and Todd approach him.
Mr. Keating? Sir? Oh, Captain, my captain! What was the Dead Poet Society?
Ah, so you boys have been snooping.
I was just looking in an old annual and...
Nothing wrong with research.
The boys wait for more.
But what was it?
Keating checks around to be sure they are unwatched.
The Dead Poets was a secret organization. I don't know how the present administration would look upon it, but I doubt the reaction would be favorable. Can you keep a secret?
An instant sea of nods.
The Dead Poets Society was dedicating to sucking the marrow out of life. That phrase is by Thoreau and was invoked at every meeting. A small group of us would meet at a cave, and there we would take turns reading Shelley, Thoreau, Whitman, our own verse, any number of poets, and in the enchantment of the moment, let them work their magic on us.
You mean it was a bunch of guys sitting around reading poetry?
Both sexes participated, Mr. Overstreet. And believe me, we did not simply read. We let it drip from our tongues like honey. Women swooned, spirits soared. Gods were created, gentlemen.
The boys think a minute.
What did the name mean? Did you only read dead poets?
All poetry was acceptable. The name simply referred to the fact that to join the organization, you had to be dead.
What?
What?
Full membership required a lifetime of apprenticeship. The living were simply pledges. Alas, even I am still a lowly initiate.
The boys don't quite know what to say.
The last meeting must have been 25 years ago. Hasn't been another since.
Keating exits. The boys stand watching. Neil turns to them.
I say we go tonight. Everybody in?
Where is these caves he's talking about?
Beyond the stream. I think I know.
That's Miles. That's Miles.
Ah, that sounds boring to me.
Don't come.
Well, all I'm saying is we have to be careful. We can't get caught.
Talking a lot of demerits.
So don't goddamn come! Please. Well, no crap, Sherlock.
No
A lot of
shit,
demerits.
Sherlock. We can't get caught.
Who's in?
I'm in.
Neil looks at Knox, Pitts, and Weeks.
Well,
Oh, come on, Pitts.
his grades are hurting, Charlie.
Then you can help him.
What is this? A midnight study group?
Forget it. Pitts, you're coming. Meeks, your grade's hurting too?
Laughter.
All right. I'll try anything once.
Except sex.
More laughter. Meeks blushes.
I'm in as long as we're careful.
Knox,
I don't know. I don't get it.
come on. It'll help you get Chris.
It will. How do you figure?
Women swoon.
Hi. Ugh. The group walks off. Knox holds, then follows. Why do they spoon? Charlie, tell me, why do they spoon? Knox moves off after the others. Todd remains behind. No one asked Todd, and he moves off by himself. Interior, the study hall, late afternoon. Students study. Neil sits near Todd.
Listen, I'm inviting you. You can't expect everybody to think of you all the time. Nobody knows you.
Thanks. But it's not a question of that.
What is it then?
I just don't want to come.
Yeah, but why? Don't you understand what Keating is saying? Don't you want to do something about it?
Yes, but
But what? God damn it, tell me.
I don't want to read.
What?
Keating said everybody took turns reading. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, you really have a problem, don't you? How can it hurt you to read? I mean, isn't that what this is all about? Expressing yourself?
Interior, the dorm, late night. Old Dr. Hager, the resident dorm marshal, putters in his room. Door ajar, making tea. Neil, Charlie, Knox, Meeks, Pitts, Cameron, and Todd sneak silently past his door and out. Exterior, the Welton campus night. The school hunting dog comes up and growls at the boys. Pitts slips the dog a piece of food and it goes away. Exterior, the school grounds night. The stars are out and the wind is blowing. A series of shots show the boys crossing the campus. They reach a stone wall with an old iron gate that is chained shut. The boys squeeze through the gate and disappear into the woods beyond. Exterior, the Welton woods and stream, night. The boys make their way through the eerie forest, searching for the cave. They reach the bank of the stream and begin looking for an appropriate spot amongst the tree roots and erosion. Charlie suddenly looms out of the cave entrance.
Yeah, I'm a dead poet.
Ah, it, Dalton.
This is it.
Short dissolved to the interior of the cave a bit later. A newly lit fire comes to life. The boys huddle around the flames.
I hereby reconvene the Welton chapter of the Dead Poets Society. These meetings will be conducted by myself and by the rest of the new initiates now present. Todd Anderson, because he prefers not to read, will keep minutes of the meetings.
Todd is unhappy with his role, but he tries not to show it.
I will now read the traditional opening message from Society member Henry David Thoreau.
Neil opens Keating's copy of Thoreau's Walden and reads,
I went to the woods because I wanted to live deliberately. I wanted to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life.
All right, I'll second that.
To put the rout all that was not life. And when I came to die, discover that I had not lived. Pledge, Overstreet.
Knox steps up. Neil hands him Walden. Knox flips through the book until he finds another underlined passage. He reads,
The millions are awake enough for physical labor, but only 1 in a million is awake enough for effective intellectual exertion. Only 1 in 100 millions to a poetic or divine life. To be awake is to be alive.
Hey, this is great.
Knox hands the book to Cameron. Cameron reads, If one advanced confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours.
Yes, I want success with Chris.
Cameron hands the book to Todd. Todd holds the book frozen. Before the others notice Todd's fear, Neil takes the book from Todd and hands it to Meeks.
If you have built castles in the air, your work need not be loose. That is where they should be. Now put foundations under them.
God, I want to do everything. I'm going to explode.
Neil looks imbued with the desire to break out of his mold. He slams the palms of his hands together with an expression of determination. Charlie opens the book he brought and flips through it.
Listen to this. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul.
Pull back from this small band of boys standing huddled in the night. Something is swirling their hearts and their heads, something alive and exciting like the wind and the swaying trees that surround them. Charlie raises his hands in the air.
I here and now commit myself to daring.
Dissolve 2, Section 8, A New Perspective. Interior, Keating's classroom, day. Kat, you're muted.
Cat?
I am so sorry.
Oh.
So avoid using the word very because it's lazy. A man is not very tired, he is exhausted. Don't use very sad, use morose. Language was invented for one reason, boys, to woo women. And in that endeavor, laziness will not do. It also won't do in your essays.
The class laughs appreciatively. Keating closes his book, then walks over and raises a map that covers the blackboard in the front of the room. Over on the board is a quote which Keating reads out loud.
Creeds and schools in abeyance, I permit to speak at every hazard. Nature without check, with original energy. Walt Whitman. Ah, but the difficulty of ignoring those creeds and schools, conditioned as we are by our parents, our traditions, by the modern age. How do we, like Whitman, permit our own natures, our true natures, to speak? How do we strip ourselves of prejudices, habits, influences? The answer, my dear lads, is that we must constantly endeavor to find a new point of view.
He leaps onto his desk.
Why do I stand here? To feel taller than you? I stand on my desk to remind that we must constantly force ourselves to look at things differently. The world looks different from up here. If you don't believe it, stand up here and try it. All of you, take turns.
Keating jumps off. The boys, with notable exception of Todd, go to the front of the room and a few at a time take turns standing on Keating's desk. As they do, Keating strolls up and down the aisles.
Try never to think about the same thing, same way twice. If you're sure about something, force yourself to think about it another way, even if you know it's wrong or silly. When you read, don't consider only what the author thinks, but take the time to consider what you think. You must strive to find your own voice, boys, and the longer you wait to begin, the less likely you are to find it at all. Thoreau said, most men lead lives of quiet desperation. I ask, why be resigned to that? Risk walking new ground now. A flame in your hearts could change the world, lads. Nurture it.
Keating goes to the door. He looks at the class. Yeah. Then flashes the room lights on and off. Oh, I think he locks the class. Then flashes the room lights on and off and over. He makes a noise like crashing thunder.
All right. In addition to your essays, I want you to each write a poem, something your own, to be delivered aloud in class. See you Monday.
He exits. Momentarily, he pops his head back in.
And don't think I don't know this assignment scares you to death, Mr. Anderson, you mole.
Keating holds out his hand and pretends he is sending lightning bolts at Todd. The class laughs. Todd forces a hint of a smile. Interior, exterior, Welton campus, afternoon, various locations. Pitts and Meeks climb up the inside of the bell tower that sits atop the Welton Chapel. They affix Pitts's crystal radio antenna to the chapel cross. Momentarily, they tune in a fuzzy rock and roll station.
Radio Free America.
They try to tune in the music, but it soon dissolves into static. They jiggle the radio in frustration. Some of the Welton students run on the green, kicking soccer balls. Down at the lake, the Welton crew team is practicing. Mr. Nolan sits in a rowboat, smoking a pipe, watching. Knox rides down a wooden lane on his bike. He comes to Ridgeway High School. Beyond a fence, uniformed boys practice football. Not far from them, cheerleaders practice. Knox stops. He sees. Among the cheerleaders is Chris. She laughs as she practices the cheers with the other girls. Knox watches her with intense longing in his eyes. Chet Danbury catches a pass in front of Chris, struts for her amusement, then moves on. Chris laughs. Knox gets back on his bike and pedals away. Interior, Todd and Neil's room, afternoon. Todd sits at his bed, a pad of paper beside him. He starts to write something, scratches it out, then covers his face in frustration. The door opens. Neil enters, looking like he's just seen God. He lets the book fall to his desk.
Found it.
Found what?
What I want to do right now, what is really inside of me.
He hands Todd a piece of paper. Todd reads it.
A Midsummer's Night Dream. What is it?
A play, dummy.
I know that. What's it got to do with you?
They're putting it on at Henley Hall. See? Open tryouts.
So?
So I'm gonna act. Ever since I can remember, I've wanted to try it. Last summer, I even tried to go to summer stock auditions, but of course my father wouldn't let me.
And now he will?
Oh, hell no, but that's not the point. The point is, for the first time in my whole goddamn life, I know what I want. And for the first time, I'm gonna do it, whether my father wants me to or not. Carpe diem, goddammit.
Neil picks up the play and reads a couple of lines aloud. They delight him. He clenches his fists in the air with joy.
Neil, how are you going to be in a play if your father won't let you do it?
First, I gotta get the part, then I'll worry about that.
Won't he kill you if you don't let him know you're auditioning?
As far as I'm concerned, he won't have to know about any of it.
Come on, that's impossible.
Or shit, nothing's impossible.
Why don't you ask him first? Maybe he'll say yes.
That's a laugh. If I don't ask, at least I won't be disobeying him.
But if he said no before then...
Jesus Christ, whose side are you on? I haven't even gotten the part yet. Can't I even enjoy the idea for a little while?
Todd turns back to his work. Neil sits on his bed and starts reading the play.
By the way, there's a meeting this afternoon. You coming?
I guess.
Neil puts down his play and looks at Todd.
None of what Mr. Keating has to say means shit to you, does it?
What's that supposed to mean?
Being in the club means being stirred up by things. You look about as stirred up as a cesspool.
You want me out? Is that what you're saying?
No, I want you in. But being in means you gotta do something, not just say you're in.
Listen, Neil, I appreciate your interest in me, but I'm not like you. When you say things, people pay attention. People follow you. I'm not like that.
Why not? Don't you think you could be?
No! I don't know. I probably will never know. The point is, there's nothing you could do about it, so butt out, right? I could take care of myself just fine. Right?
No.
No? What do you mean, no?
No.
Neil opens his play. Todd waits for Neil to relent. He doesn't.
Section 9. Gather ye response. Gather ye rosebuds. Actions and description. John. Extension cave. Afternoon. The boys entered the cave. And in the cave afternoon. It is a clear, crisp afternoon. Charlie, Knox, Todd, next Neil, Cameron, and Pete sits around. Neil recites from Torio.
I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately. I wanted to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life.
I want to suck all the marrow out of Chris. I'm so in love. I feel like I'm going to die.
You know what the dead poets would say. Gather ye rosebuds while you may.
But she's in love with the moron, son of my father's best friend. What would the dead poets say about that?
Knox walks away from the group. Despair is washing over him.
I feel like I've never been alive. For years I've been risking nothing. I have no idea what I am or what I want to do. Neil, you know you want to act. Knox wants Chris.
Needs Chris. Must have Chris.
Meeks, you're the brain here. What do the dead poets say about somebody like me?
The romantics were passionate experimenters, Charles. They dabbled in many things before settling, if ever.
There aren't too many places to be an experimenter at Welton Meeks.
Charlie paced a moment, then gets an idea. He addressed the group.
I hereby declare this the Charles Dalton Cave for passionate experimentation. In the future, anyone wishing entry must have permission from me.
Wait a minute, Charlie. This should belong to the club.
It should, but I found it, and now I claim it. Carve Cavern, guys. Seize the cave.
Charlie grins. The boys look at each other and shake their heads. Neil heads out.
You muted, Anamika.
I gotta get to the tryouts. Wish me luck.
John?
Good luck. Neil exits. Charlie finds a rock and begins carving his name on a wall of the cave. Pete shakes his head. It's your turn, Aubrey.
Aubrey?
Sorry. Soccer. Exterior soccer field, afternoon. Gusts of wind blow across the field. About 50 boys stand in their sweats, moving around, trying to keep warm. Among them are Todd, Charlie, Pitts, and Knox, who is in a state of lovesick despair. Keating walks up, carrying a same soccer ball. Sorry. Oh, what is going on with me? Man. Among them are, sorry, hold on. Keating walks up, carrying the same soccer balls under one arm and a case under the other. I think it's some. I think it's supposed to be some.
Hey, looks who's the soccer instructor.
Here, here. There are quite a few of us, so we have to be quiet if we're going to get anything accomplished. Who has the role?
I do, sir.
Keating takes a 3-page roll and examines it.
Answer present, please. Chapman?
President?
Perry? Neil Perry?
Keating glances at Todd. Todd doesn't know what to say.
Watson? Richard Watson. Absent too, eh?
Walton sick, sir.
Sick indeed. I suppose I should give Watson demerits, but if I give Watson demerits, I will also have to give Perry demerits, and I like Perry.
He crumples the roll up and tosses it away.
Boys, you don't have to be here if you don't want to. Anybody who wants to play, follow me.
Keating marches off. Astonished and delighted by this capriciousness, most of the boys excitedly follow. New angle, far soccer field, later. Most of the boys from earlier sit on the ground. Keating stands before them.
Devotees may argue that one game or sport is inherently better than another. For me, the most important thing in all sport is the way other human beings can push us to excel. Now, Plato, a gifted man like myself, said, "Only the contest made me a poet, a sophist, an orator. Each person take a slip of paper and line up single file."
He passes out slips of paper to the curious students. Exterior soccer field, later. The boys form a long line. Todd stands listlessly. Start that over again. Todd stands listlessly at the rear. 10 feet in front of the boy at the head of the line, a soccer ball rests on the ground.
You know what to do. Now go!
McAllister walks past the soccer field. He watches in fascination as the boy at the head of the line steps out and reads loudly from a slip of paper.
Oh, to struggle against great odds, to meet enemies undaunted.
He runs and kicks the ball at the goal, missing. Keating puts down another ball, then puts a record on a portable record player. Classical music starts. The second boy, Knox, steps out.
Rhythm, boy, rhythm is important.
To be entirely alone with them, to find out how much one can stand.
Knox too runs and kicks the ball just before he smashes it with his foot. He yells,
Shut!
ball. Kneading puts down another soccer ball.
To looks, tip, strip, torture, prison, popular, odium, face to face.
Meeks runs and kicks the ball with great intent. Next, Charlie steps out and reads.
To indeed be a god.
With determination, Charlie kicks the ball through the goal. McAllister smiles and walks on.
Scene 11, recitations. Interior Neil and Todd's room, night. Todd sits at his desk, a half-composed poem before him. He adds a line, then breaks the pencil in frustration. He paces, sighs, then picks up another pencil and tries to again. Interior the dorm hallway, same. Neil enters, looking stunned.
Got it. Hey, everybody, I got the part. I'm gonna play Puck. Hey, I'm Puck.
Fuck you.
Fuck
Pipe
you.
down.
Pipe
Yeah.
down.
All right, Neil, congratulations. Interior Neil and Todd's room, night. Neil enters and closes the door. Incredibly excited, he pulls out an old typewriter and begins to type. Todd watches.
Neil, how are you going to do this?
That's what I'm taking care of. They need a letter of permission.
From you?
From my father and Nolan.
Neil, you're not going to do
Quiet,
that.
I have to think.
Neil mumbles lines from the play, giggles to himself,
What
then keeps
fools these
typing.
mortals be?
Todd shakes his head in disbelief. Interior Keating's classroom, day. Knox stands before class, reading the poem he wrote.
I see a sweetness in her smile. Bright light shines from her eyes. But life is complete. Contentment, a mind just knowing that she.
Knox stops. He lowers his paper.
Sorry, it's stupid.
Knox walks back to his seat.
Good effort. What Knox has done demonstrates an important point, not only in writing poetry, but in every endeavor. That is, deal with the important things in life: love, beauty, truth, justice.
Keating paces.
And don't limit poetry to the word. Poetry can be found in a work of art, music, a photograph, in the way a meal is prepared, anything with the stuff of revelation in it. It can exist in most everyday things, but it must never be ordinary. By all means, write about the sky or a girl's smile, but when you do, let your poetry conjure up Salvation Day, Doomsday, any day, I don't care, as long as it enlightens us, thrills us, and, if it's inspired, makes us feel a bit immortal.
Oh, Captain, my Captain, is there poetry in math?
Chuckles from the class.
Absolutely, Mr. Dalton. There is elegance in mathematics. If everyone wrote poetry, the planet would starve, for God's sake. But there must be poetry, and we must stop to notice it, in even the simplest acts of living, or we will have wasted the truly wonderful opportunity that life as human beings offers us. That said, who wants to recite next? Come on, I'll get to everyone eventually.
Keating looks around. No one volunteers. Keating grins.
Look at Mr. Anderson, in such agony. Step up, lad, and let's put you out of your misery.
All eyes are on Todd. He is dying inside. He stands and walks slowly to the front of the class like a condemned man on his way to his execution.
Todd, have you prepared your poem?
Todd shakes his head no.
Mr. Anderson believes that everything he has inside of him is worthless and embarrassing. Correct, Todd? Isn't that your fear?
Todd nods jerkily yes.
Then today, you will see what is inside of you is worth a great deal.
Keating strides to the blackboard. Rapidly he writes, I sound my barbaric yawp over the rooftops of the world. Walt Whitman.
A yawp, for those you don't know, is a loud cry or yell. Todd, I would like you to give us a demonstration of a barbaric yawp.
Yup.
A barbaric yawp.
Keating pauses, then suddenly moves fiercely at Todd.
Good God, boy, yell!
Yup.
Again, louder!
Yup.
Louder!
Ah!
All right, very good. There's a barbarian in there after all.
Keating claps. The class claps too. Todd, red-faced, swells a bit.
Todd, there's a picture of Whitman over the door. What does he remind you of? Quickly, Anderson, don't think about it.
A madman?
A madman. Perhaps he was. What kind of madman? Don't think. Answer.
A crazy madman?
Use your imagination. First thing that pops your mind, even if it's gibberish.
A sweaty tooth madman?
Now there's a poet speaking. Close your eyes and think of the picture. Describe what you see now.
I see an image. A sweaty tooth madman with a stare that pounds my brain.
Excellent. Have him act. Give it rhythm.
His hands reach out and choke me all the time. He mumbles away. Truth is like a blanket that always leaves your feet cold.
This brings chuckles from the class. This angers Todd.
Oh, the hell with them. More about the blanket.
Todd opens his eyes and addresses the class in defiant cadence.
Stretch it. Pull it. It will never cover any of us. Kick at it. Beat at it. It will never be enough.
Don't stop.
From the moment we enter crying to the moment we leave dying, it will cover just as your head as you wail and cry and scream.
Todd stands still for a long time. Both he and the students have felt the magic of what has just taken place. Neil starts applauding. Others join in. Todd swells, and for the first time, there's a hint of confidence in him. The applause stops. Keating walks to Todd.
Don't forget this.
Exterior, the soccer field, day. A soccer ball careens off a kicking foot. Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, Fourth Movement, Ode to Joy blares forth. Keating stands on the sidelines beside his portable record player, watching the boys play soccer, waving his arms like an orchestra conductor. In front of Keating, the boys play soccer to this spectacular music. They run, kick, pass, fall, block, head, dribble, take, all to the overpowering chorus of one of the most inspirational pieces of music ever written. Exterior, Dead Poets Cave, afternoon. Boys enter the cave. Interior, Dead Poets Cave, afternoon. Neil hurries in carrying a small broken statue. The other pledges of the Dead Poet Society are assembled around Charlie, who sits silently cross-legged before them. His eyes are closed, and in one hand, he holds an old saxophone. Look at this.
What is it?
The god of the cave. The statue has a stake sticking out of its head with a candle stuck in it. Neil plants the statue in the ground and lights the candle. It illuminates a red and blue drummer boy, face pitted from exposure, yet noble in his visage. Charlie, who hasn't moved, clears his throat. All turn to him and settle in.
Gentlemen, Poetristic by Charles Dalton.
He blows scattered notes on the saxophone, random, blaring. They sound like bad John Cage. Suddenly, Charlie stops.
Laughing, crying, tumbling, mumbling. Gotta do more. Gotta be more.
He plays more notes on the sax, then...
Chaos screaming, chaos dreaming, crying, flying. Gotta be more! Gotta be more!
Charlie plays a simple but absolutely gorgeous melody. The skeptical looks on the faces of the boys disappear. As Charlie gets lost in the music, so do the others. The melody ends with a long, beautiful, haunting note. Charlie, that was great. Where did you learn to play like that?
My parents made me take clarinet, but I hated it. The sax is more sonorous.
Knox stands. He backs away, full of torment and frustration.
God, I can't take it anymore. If I don't have Chris, I'll kill myself.
Knox, you gotta calm down.
No, I've been calm all my life. If I don't do something, it's gonna kill me.
Where are you going?
I'm calling her.
Interior, the dorm phone room later. All of the boys stand around. Knox picks up the phone, boldly dials some numbers, then waits. Interior Chris's house, afternoon. Chris is in wet hair and a damp towel, but she looks stunning. She enters and answers the phone.
Hello?
Interior the dorm phone room, stairwell, afternoon. Knox hears Chris's voice. He starts to speak, then hangs up the phone.
Oh. Gonna hate me. The Danberries will hate me. My parents will kill me.
He looks at the faces of the others. No one says a word.
Oh, right. God damn it. You're right. Carpe diem. Even if it kills me.
He picks up the phone and dials again. Interior Chris's house, same. Again, the phone rings. Again, Chris enters and answers.
Hello?
Interior the dorm, same.
Hello? This is Knox Overstreet.
Interior Chris's house, same.
Knox. Oh, yes, Knox. I'm glad you called.
Interior the dorm, same.
You are? She's glad I called.
Interior Chris's house, same.
I wanted to call you, but I didn't have the number. Chet's parents are going out of town this weekend, so Chet's having a party. Would you like to come?
Interior the dorm, same.
Well, sure.
Interior Chris's house, same.
Chet's parents don't know about it, so please keep it quiet. But you can bring someone if you like.
Interior dorm, same.
I'll be there. The Danvers. Friday night. Thank you, Chris.
He hangs up the phone. He is thunderstruck. He lets out a yelp.
Can you believe it? She's gonna call me. She invited me to a party with her.
At Chet Danbury's house.
Yeah.
Well?
So?
So you really think she means you're going with her?
Well, hell no, Charlie. But that's not the point. That's not that's the point at all.
What is the point?
The point is, she was thinking about me. Oh, I've only met her once, and already she's thinking about me. Damn it, it's gonna happen. I feel it. She's gonna be mine.
He exits the phone room, his head in a cloud. The others look at each other, not sure what to think.
Exterior, the Henley Hall Auditorium Day. The buildings at the school are white brick. Neil parks his bicycle and enters the auditorium. Interior, the auditorium stage later. High school actors are on stage rehearsing Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. Neil stands center stage playing pop. He holds a stick with a bell, a coulter jester's head on one end of it.
Yet but three, come one more. Two of both kinds make up four. Here she comes, cursed and sad. Cupid is a knavish lad, thus to make poor females mad.
Enter Jeannie Danbury playing Hermia, falling on stage, looking exhausted. As she starts her lines, the director of the play, a woman in her 40s, interrupts. Good, Neil. I really get the feeling your Pax knows he's in charge. Remember that he takes great delight in what he's doing.
Cupid is a knavish lad, thus to make poor females mad.
Excellent. Continue, Jeannie. As Jeannie re-enters and starts her lines.
Never so weary, never so in woe, bedazzled with the dew and torn with briars, I can no further crawl, no further go.
Exterior, the Welton Dorms night. Neil rides up on his bike and parks it. As he stands into the dorm, he spots a figure sitting motionless on a wall.
Todd?
Neil wakes over to get a better look. It is Todd sitting in the dark without a coat.
What's going on?
Todd doesn't answer.
Todd, what's the matter?
It's my birthday.
It is happy birthday. You get anything?
Todd is motionless. Then he points to a box. Nell looks in the box. Seems to be monogram desk set that we've seen on the Todd's desk.
This is your desk set. I don't get it.
They gave me the same thing as last year.
Oh,
Oh,
Long pause.
well, maybe they thought you'd need another one. Maybe they thought.
maybe they don't think about it at all unless it's about my brother. His birthday's always a big to do. The stupid thing is, I didn't even like the first one.
He puts the desk set down.
Look, Todd, you're obviously underestimating the value of this desk set.
What?
I mean, this is one special gift. Who would want a football or a baseball bat or a car when they could get a desk set as wonderful as this one?
Yeah, just look at this ruler.
They laugh. A silence falls.
You know what Dad called me when I was growing up? 598. That's what all the chemicals in the human body would be worth if you bottled them raw and sold them. He told me that was all it'd ever be worth unless I worked every day to improve myself. 598.
Neil shakes his head.
When I was little, I thought my parents automatically loved their kids. All parents automatically loved their kids. That's what my teachers taught me. That's what I read in books they gave me. That's what I believed. Well, my parents might have loved their brother. My parents might have loved my brother, but they did not love me.
He takes a deep, anxious breath. Neil is hoping for something to say. Todd walks into the door. Haley, it's your turn. It's now your turn. Section 40.
Conformity. Thank you so much. Exterior, a Welton brick courtyard day. The class pours into the courtyard, expectantly, yes. Another Keating stunt. Keating addresses them.
People, I am delighted with your progress as reflected in your essays and poems. However, I know the school policy is to encourage study groups, and I believe that a dangerous, though inevitable, element of conformity has been seeping into your work. Now, Mr. Pitts, Cameron, Overstreet, and Chapman, line up, please, over here.
Keating indicates for the four boys to stand near him.
On the count of 4, begin walking together around the courtyard. Nothing to think about, no grade here. 1, 2, 3, go.
The boys begin walking. They go down one side of the courtyard, across the back, up the other side, then across the front.
That's the way. Please continue.
As the boys walk around the courtyard again, they begin to walk together in step. Soon it becomes like a march, producing a 1, 2, 3, 4 cadence. Keating begins to clap.
There it is. Hear it? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Angle through a window. McAllister sits in his empty classroom reading a book. He sees the commotion of the courtyard in the courtyard and watches. Angle from above. The marching boys get into it. The class joins in clapping. Soon the tour boys are marching vigorously to the rhythmic clapping of the entire class. New angle. Inside his second-story office, Nolan is looking out his window at the marching boys below. Angle on Keating.
All right, stop. You may have noticed how at the beginning, Mr. Overstreet and Pitts seemed to have a different stride than the others, but soon They were all walking in the same cadence. Our encouragement made it even more marked. Now, this experiment was not to single out Pitts or Overstreet. What it demonstrates is how difficult it is for any of us to listen to our own voice or maintain our own beliefs in the presence of others. If any of you believe you would have marched differently, then ask yourself why you participated in the clapping. Lads, there is a great need in all of us to be accepted. However, that need can be like a nasty current whisking us away unless we're strong and determined swimmers. Oh, don't insist on the separate paths simply to be different or contrary, but trust what is unique about yourselves. I mean, even if it's odd or unpopular. As Mr. Robert Frost said, two roads diverge in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference.
Cling, a bell rings, signifying the end of class. Keating walks off. Engel on Nolan in his office. Nolan moves away from the window. Engel on McAllister in his classroom. Amused at Keating's antics, he turns back to his book.
Interior entrance to the Dead Poets Cave, night. Todd, Neil, Cameron, Pitts, and Meeks sit around. A fog has moved in, and the trees sway in the breeze.
Where's Knox? Getting ready for that party.
Well, what about Charlie? He's the one who insisted on this meeting.
I went to the woods because I wanted to live deliberately, to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life.
In the woods, there is a noise, the sound of girls' laughter.
Vicky,
I can't see a thing.
It's just over here.
Charlie and two girls arrive at the cave. One is pretty, the other is plain. The girls are about 20, blonde, beers in their hands. They aren't the type to be seriously interested in Charlie or the other boys. They're just here for a good time.
Hey guys, meet Gloria and
Yeah.
Tina and Gloria. This is the pledge class of the Dead Poets Society.
It's such a strange name. Won't you tell us what it means?
I told you, that's a secret.
Isn't he precious?
Gloria gives Charlie an affectionate hug. The other members of the club are flabbergasted. These girls are wild, exotic creatures, the kind whose unashamed love of men causes young boys' hearts to come to rest in young boys'. The girls giggle.
I can't call you Charlie anymore. What does new mama mean, honey?
It's new Wanda, and I made it up.
I'm cold.
Charlie puts his arm around Gloria.
Let's build a fire.
Charlie shoots Meeks a look. As the boys move off to gather the wood, Charlie scrapes some mud off the wall of the cave and wipes it on his face like an Indian brave. He shoots Gloria his sexiest stare, then goes off with the other boys. The girls whisper and giggle together.
Exterior, the Danbury house, night. Knox parks his bicycle along the side of the house. He takes off his overcoat and stuffs it in the bike saddlebag. He straightens his tie and then goes to the front door. He knocks. He can hear music inside. He knocks again. Finally, since no one comes to the door, Knox opens it. Interior, the Danbury house, same. Knox enters. Open the Door to Your Heart by Daryl Banks is playing on the hi-fi. On the entrance hall couch is a couple making out like crazy. Up and down the stairs are other couples doing the same. Knox stands there, not knowing what to do. Momentarily, Chris walks through, her hair an uncombed mess.
Chris,
Chris turns and sees Knox.
Oh, hi. I'm glad you made it. Did you bring anybody?
no,
Ginny Danbury's here. Look for her.
but Chris,
I gotta find Chet. Make yourself at home.
She exits. Knox watches her. He slumps in dejection.
Exterior, the woods around the cave, Charlie is gathering wood. Neil, Pitts, Todd, and the other boys surround him.
Charlie,
It's Nuwanda.
Nuwanda, what is going on?
Nothing, unless you object to having girls here.
Well,
Well,
of
of
course
course
not.
not. It's just that you could have warned us.
I thought I'd be spontaneous. I mean, that's the point of this whole thing, isn't it?
Where'd you find them?
They were walking along the fence past the soccer field, said they were curious about the school. So I invited them to the meeting.
Do they go to Henley? Oh,
I don't think they're in school.
they're townies?
Cameron, what is the matter with you? You act like they're your mother or something. You're afraid of them?
Oh, hell no. I'm not afraid of them. Just, if we get caught with them, we're dead. Say, what's going on out there?
Just gathering wood. You keep your mouth shut, jerk off, and there's nothing to worry about.
Oh, watch out who you call a jerk off.
Oh, calm down, Cameron.
Cameron, an expression of mock fear, then heads off. The others follow. Cameron watches Charlie and Neil for a moment, then turns and walks after them. Vicky, that's it.
Interior, the Danbury pantry, night. Knox, looking suicidal, wanders through the crowded party and ends up in the pantry. Kids stand talking. A couple in the corner is involved in a long kiss. His hand keeps wandering to her knee, and her hand keeps pushing his away. Yet the kiss never breaks. This happens over and over through the entire scene. And Ginny Danbury is in the corner, and she and Knox exchange smiles.
You Matt Sanders, Vader,
Knox shakes his head no.
Baba.
Bubba is a big drunk jock leaning on the refrigerator.
This guy looks like Matt Sanders.
You his brother?
no relation, never heard of him. Sorry.
Say, Steve, where's your manners? Here's Mutt's brother, and you don't offer him a drink? Want some bourbon?
Actually, I don't.
Steve puts a glass in Knox's hand and fills it with bourbon, adding only a hint of Coke. Bubba drinks the glass with him.
Too much.
Mutt.
To Mutt.
Bubba and Steve drain their glasses. Knox follows their lead and then bursts into a coughing fit, and Steve pours everyone more bourbon.
So, what the hell's Mutt been up to?
Actually, I don't really know, but
to fucking Mutt.
Fucking Mutt.
fucking what?
They drain their glasses again. Knox continues coughing.
Well, I'd better find Patsy. Say hello to Mutt for me.
Will do.
Knox and Ginny exchange knowing smiles. Bubba leaves Knox, who is still coughing. Ginny wanders out. Steve pours him and Knox more bourbon.
Interior, cave night. The boys have lit a fire and the girls are warming their hands. The candle on the head of the cave god flutters. Tina notices the pitted statue.
You guys were weird, but not this weird.
She takes out a pint of whiskey and offers to Neil. offers some to Neil. He takes it and sips. He obviously hasn't had much whiskey in his life, but he tries to act like he has. He hands it back.
Go ahead, pass it around.
Neil does. It goes from boy to boy. Each boy tries to act like he likes the terrible bitterness he tastes. Unlike most of the others, Todd manages to keep from coughing as he swallows the whiskey. Everyone's impressed.
Yeah! Don't you guys miss having girls here?
Miss it? It drives us crazy. That's part of what this club is about. In fact, I'd like to announce that I've published an article in the school paper in the name of the Dead Poets Society, demanding girls be admitted to Welton so we can all stop beating off.
You what? How did you do that?
I'm one of the proofers. I slipped the article in.
Oh God, it's over now.
Why? Nobody knows who we are.
Don't you think they'll figure out who did it? Don't you know they'll come to you and demand to know what the Dead Poet Society is? Charlie, you had no right to do something like that.
It's Nuwanda, Cameron.
That's right. It's Nuwanda.
And are we just playing around out here, or do we mean what we say? If all we do is come and read a bunch of poems to each other, then what the hell are we doing?
You still shouldn't have done it, Charlie. You don't speak for the club.
Hey, would you not worry about your precious little necks? If they catch me, I'll tell them I made it up. All your butts are safe. Look, Gloria and Tina didn't come here to listen to us argue. Are we going to have a meeting or what?
Yeah. I mean, how do we know if we want to join if you don't have a meeting?
Join?
Charlie ignores this. He turns to Tina.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate.
In his recital, Charlie has aimed these words directly at Tina. She melts into warm goo.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Tina hugs Charlie. The other boys look at each other, trying unsuccessfully to hide their incredible jealousy.
I wrote that for you.
You did?
I'll write one for you too, Gloria. She walks in beauty like the night.
Charlie's eyes open. He's forgotten the words of this poem. Crossing, he walks across the cave.
She walks in beauty like the night.
Charlie turns his back, opens a book, and reads quickly to himself. He closes it, puts the book down, and turns back to Gloria.
Of cloudless climes and starry skies, all that's best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and in her eyes.
Oh, isn't he wonderful?
The other boys are absolutely appalled, but desperately jealous that Charlie is getting away with this. Gloria hugs Charlie.
Interior, the Danbury living room, night. Music by the Drifters is playing loudly. Every light in the room is out. The only illumination is moonlight through the windows. Only after our eyes get adjusted to the dark can we see that the room is filled with couples making out. Knox, carrying another drink and looking tipsy, enters. He walks a bit and then trips over a couple on the floor.
Hey,
Sorry.
Knox falls onto the sofa. To his left sit a couple making out heavily. Their breathing is like of some giant beast. To Knox's right is another couple making out too. Knox tries to get up, but the couple he tripped over has now rolled against his shins, pinning him. Knox tries to get comfortable in his little spot on the sofa. The music stops. The room sounds like an artificial respiration ward. The couple to Knox's right look and sound as if they're going to chew each other's lips off. Knox glances at the couple to his left. He hears,
Oh, Chris, you're so beautiful.
the couples are Chris and Chet. Chris is sitting right next to Knox. Music starts again. It's This Magic Moment by the Drifters. Chris and Chet continue petting heavily. Knox tries to look away, but can't keep his eyes off of Chris.
Chris, you are so gorgeous.
Chet kisses Chris hard, and she leans against Knox in the moonlight-filled room. Knox sees the outline of Chris's face, the nape of her neck, the curve of her breasts. He downs the rest of his drink and tries to look away.
Oh God. Oh my God, help me.
Chris obviously continues to lean against Knox. Knox is struggling with temptation. Excuse me, trying not to even look, but he's losing. Suddenly he turns and looks at Chris again. Every rational thing inside of him says, no. Oh, but his emotions are saying, yes!
Carpe breast. Seize the beast.
Huh?
I didn't say anything.
Chet and Chris continue to kiss, as though his hands was being drawn by a magnet too powerful to resist. Knox's hand reaches out and begins to ever so lightly stroke the nape of Chris's neck down toward her breast. Chris obviously thinks that the hand is Chet's, and she lets it continue. Knox moves his hand up and down her sensuously. He closes his eyes, breathing heavily.
Oh, Chet, that feels fabulous.
It does? What?
Oh, you know.
Knox pulls his hand away. Chet thinks a moment and then kisses Chris again.
Oh, don't stop.
Stop what?
Chet. Oh.
Knox puts his hand back on Chris's neck, and again he starts rubbing her ever so gently, moving down toward her breast. We can see Chet's silhouette pausing over Chris, trying to figure out what she's talking about. Giving up, he goes back to kissing her. Chris continues to show her pleasure. Knox leans his head back on the sofa, and his breathing becomes heavy. The music builds. Unable to resist, he rubs Chris's chest, getting dangerously close to her breast. Chris is breathing hard. Knox is slipping into ecstasy. His drink falls out of his hand. And suddenly, Chet's hand grabs Knox's hand and a lamplight flicks on. Knox is face to face with a furious Chet and a confused Chris.
What are you doing?
Knox?
Chet. Chris. What are you doing here?
Why, you little...
Chet smashes Knox in the face with his fist. Chet grabs Knox by the shirt, throws him to the floor, and jumps on him. He begins swinging at Knox's face, which Knox is doing his best to protect.
You fucked up little prick!
Chet, you don't have to hurt him!
Chet's fists hit Knox over and over.
Chet, stop! He didn't mean anything!
She pushes Chet off. Knox rolls over, holding his face.
That's enough!
Chet stands over Knox, who's holding his bloody nose and bruised face.
I'm sorry, Chris. I'm sorry.
You want some more? You little son of a bitch? What? Get out of here!
He moves at Knox again, but Chris and some others hold him back. Others lead Knox out of the room.
Chris! I'm sorry.
Next time I see you, you're dead!
Interior, the cave, night. The fire casts warm light on the wall of the cave. Gloria sits with her arm around Charlie, staring adoringly. The bottle passes between Tina and the others.
Hey guys, why don't you show Tina the Dead Poets Garden?
Garden? What garden?
Charlie silently motions with his eyes for Pitts and the others to vamoose. Neil elbows Pitts and makes a motion outside with his head. Suddenly, Pitts gets it.
All right, that garden, come on, guys.
The boys set out with Tina.
This is so strange. You guys even have a garden?
Meek stands in the cave, still not getting it.
What are you talking about?
All of the others are gone. Meeks looks at Charlie, who stares daggers at him.
Charles, no wonder we don't have a garden.
Neil comes back in and pulls Meeks out. Charlie waits for them to go.
God, for a smart guy, he's so stupid.
Gloria stares in Charlie's eyes, and Charlie smiles.
I think he's sweet.
I think you're sweet.
Charlie looks at her. He closes his eyes and leans slowly in to kiss her. Just as he's about to, she stands.
You know what really excites me about you?
What?
Every guy that I meet wants me for one thing, my body. But you're not like that.
I'm not?
Oh no! Anybody else would have jumped my bones by now, but you're after my soul. Make me up some more poetry?
But
Oh, please! Oh, it's so wonderful to be appreciated for my mind.
She gets up and starts pacing. Charlie puts his hand over his face. Gloria turns and looks at him.
Nawanda, please.
all right, I'm thinking. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love which alters when it alteration finds or bends with the remover to remove.
Gloria emits sensual moan.
Oh, don't stop.
Oh no, it is an ever fixed mark that looks on tempest and is never shaken. It is to the star, to every wandering bark whose worth's unknown, although his height be taken.
This is better than sex any day. Oh, this is romance.
As a frustrated Charlie continues reciting, we are going to pause to end the first half of our reading. And keep Charles in a bit
Yes,
of agony for a
bravo,
week.
bravo. All of us did a great job.
That was fun.
Yes,
Oh
that was really
goodness.
This was
The
fun.
most naughty I've
This
been
week
in a
is
long
fun.
time.
fun. Fantastic, guys. It's awesome.
Very
Yes,
good. Truly the most
yes,
naughty
very
I've been in
good.
a script in a very long time. I've had fun.
Indeed.
Oh.
So funny.
I remember when this
Oh
movie
man.
came out. I think I just finished high school and was starting my first year of college, and they had it on the big screen, and completely went up to like one of my top 5 movies, favorite movies ever.
Oh,
I stayed there for a really long time. You know, looking back on it now, I wonder it's a little dated, but I think the
you know
message
what? But we need
still
to
holds.
honor the history. So what if it's dated as long as we, understand that things are not the same now as they were then and just kind of pay respects to what was then, especially to Robin Williams. My God, the way he went, awful. We miss him, we love him, but we need to honor history as it is and not try to change it to what we're comfortable with.
And you
Right.
know
Me
what? In a
too.
way, oh, sorry.
Sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead, Vicky.
In a way, it proves that, like you're talking history and romance, it hasn't changed since Shakespeare's time. That's what really works.
Yes. And
Yeah, and I was gonna say too, like I feel like especially with like Todd and Neil, like the just like the brokenness, the devastating childhood that they've had, and in the second half, like what happens, how they deal with it or don't, is like I think that's like that everyone can relate to that on some level, right? Like even if you had a good childhood, like there are
right.
parts of it that were right, yeah, exactly, Heather. But like there are parts of it where you can relate of like, oh wow, like I was really shy and repressed, and there was this teacher that like spoke to this inner part of me, right? Like Todd gets,
Mm-hmm.
or like, yeah, my parents were really strict, and so I had to defy them in these little ways like Neil did. So I think it's like the experiences, even though it's set in a very strict boys' school, it really is more universal. Kind of like Shakespeare, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it
I agree with
just
that.
represents that we need to learn to love each other a little more like this group of boys did and their teacher, and they had this common love, like it was a family like love. They weren't romantically in love, but they learned about different things of how to love themselves and love each other and learn to love life in general because they sure as hell hated life, but through the literature that they learned through their time with Mr. Keating, they learned to love life. And I mean, we all know what happened in the end, but they had that moment for a while where they could learn to love life and find
Yeah.
joy in it. And maybe somebody took some seeds from that. We don't know.
Well, I mean, you're taking somebody's, they learn to have a dream and that's not stuff they can do with their life. And then what happens is that, someone comes in and squashes it. It's kind of like the tale of someone, of that whole idea of like once you know that you're not in a cage anymore and someone stuffs you back in the cage, like closes the door, what happens to you? I really like this story. It's a really great script for that reason.
Yeah, I feel like it touches on this like time where it's really like knowing the time period that it's set in. It's like
Hmm.
it was either Ellis Island immigrants, Jewish people, whatever have you, right? Cool stuff, right? Cool American
Hmm.
dream things. But they were more like our sons should be lawyers, mathematicians, scientists. It's like this pocket of time. Let's go to Harvard. Let's do the Ivy League schools. And that pressure is like an English class would be something that they would go to and think, this is nothing. Like I'm waiting for my math class next. I'm waiting for that, so I love this story where this English teacher is telling him, do you understand that the basis of what anything you could ever learn is reading books, understanding literature, understanding spoken word, and how it slowly gets to them in that way. You know what I mean? Like become a doctor,
Yeah.
lawyer, that was like a thing for a bit, right?
And
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
there's poetry and math even,
Right.
there's
Why?
poetry everywhere that you look.
Why am I thinking of this movie that stars Julia Roberts? What is it? Mona Lisa Smile. Um, where she tries to teach the girls there's more to life than expectation. There's more to, because I remember this one scene where this one girl's saying that, like, when I get married, I'll be married, and that's it, and that's all there is to life. But there's really more to life than what she's expected to do. And this teacher, I can't remember her name, is just trying to teach this girl this.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sure there's got to be a coming to age, like more feminist kind of vibe to. Yeah, I got you. I don't know what
Yeah.
you're thinking of, but I know what you're thinking of. Yeah.
I know what you're thinking of. Yeah, I know the movie. I
Well,
know the
like
music. I know the music more, but yes.
Yeah, there's.
well, I mean, I'll get personal if I might. It might help people open up. Like, I had to learn this lesson myself. I spoke last time of my health issue of endometriosis,
Mhm.
and it was just recently Mother's Day. And I actually had a physical reaction to Mother's Day because of the pain I have associated with it. And you know what? It was healing. It was honestly healing to have that because in 2017, I had to really look at myself and say, hey, this is not what I expected. But there's life beyond expectation. I have to live it. I can't just sit and grieve. I have to get off my ass. Sorry for swearing. And
Fine.
actually live the life that I have and just not grieve over the life that I expected to have. And that's what I think Keating is trying to teach these boys. You should focus on what you want to have and not on the expectation because sometimes life as you expect it doesn't work out, but you can still have a happy, fulfilling life
True.
despite not being able to fulfill expectation. And if more people had compassion to that sort of mindset and encouraged that, how much better off would we all be?
It's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, I talk so freaking much. It's unbelievable.
Fine.
I was absorbing that. I loved what you said. Totally.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
My inner Julian Bashir came out.
And I talk more than I used to. Remember how Jacob used to always say, and Vicky, do you have anything to say? No.
Vicky, you have blossomed and grown so much through this. I'm very proud of you. I've known you since the beginning.
True. Yeah. Yeah. Thank
And I'm
you.
proud of the rest of you. Holy crap, some of you in your acting chops. Why the frick haven't you been on television yet?
They will
Yeah,
be.
with her
We will be.
must
They will be.
have
We all.
Chris.
Like, I mean, holy crap, some of the voices and like the whole, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Inflections. Holy crap, well done, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, you all did a great job.
You guys are all amazing.
One's nice because I mean there's poetry
Yes.
obviously poetry written into the script, so
Yes, all of you are amazing. I really, really love to work with you.
Aw,
We're glad
thank you,
There's
John.
there's
Thank
this
you for
the
joining
one.
us.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. There's this one part I think I chuckled at it, but it was only because it was like bad John Cage, and I don't know if any of you know who John Cage is, but that made me laugh. Oh, it was so funny. So I'm sorry if I chuckled like inappropriately, but
You know, that's a
it
bad
made me
word. We
laugh.
shouldn't really use that bad word. And do you know what the bad word is? I'm sorry.
Oh, well, yes.
Because
Okay,
Keating
fine.
literally tells the boys in the thing, don't apologize for being yourself. Just get off your ass and be yourself and screw expectation, right?
Fair.
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
And I'm
But I
sorry,
was just
Mom, for
laughing about that.
swearing.
What about saying sorry?
Me
She
too.
doesn't
No, it's
like it when
true.
I swear.
But
I
John
don't think I
John
did
Cage is
tonight, but
very.
I'll apologize anyways.
Oh,
So an
goodness,
obvious.
guys.
I mean, you're Canadian. You have to be polite. That's
Yes.
part of being a Canadian, right?
That's what I heard.
I'm dual citizen, so I don't my mom was born in the States, so I'm half.
Yeah,
You
if you
can
say
choose
that a
if you
lot,
want to be
you're
polite or not.
I can be a rogue. Who cares?
But you guys, I mean, I'm sorry. I don't feel like I need to always apologize.
Oh, goodness.
That
You
was
know what?
fun.
We're Team Rogue One and we can do whatever we want and we'll defy the odds.
That's right.
And
We'll
as
die
far as
trying.
like laughing on the script there, Aubrey, I know there's at least one reading group, and I can't remember which one it is, but they don't have people mute when they're not in a scene because they like having that sort of audience laughter in the
Mm.
background, like you would when you're watching a television
Oh,
episode.
Ah,
you know, we should do that.
yeah, we should give that a go and see.
Live studio audience.
And oh my goodness, when we hear crickets, we'll be so sad.
I mean, sometimes, people are just enjoying it. It's not necessarily, but if you're not laughing or crying at the appropriate times, what is the point, right?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes, with my little neurodivergent brain, sometimes I don't know what the appropriate time is and I giggle at the inappropriate time, but I guess carpe diem, right? Don't be afraid, right?
True.
Yeah, well,
Seize the day.
Seize the
yeah.
day.
Okay, with that, I have to get going, guys. I am so sorry, but I
I
Yes,
do
have to
too.
walk
lovely.
around and do all the things.
This
All
was
right.
lovely. I was feeding into the energy. It made me feel so energized. I'm glad I came
Good.
back.
Yeah, me too.
That's why I love acting.
Well, hope to
Yes,
see
I
you
need
guys
to do more of
next
it.
week. It'll be a little more sad next week.
I
As,
know.
as those of you who have seen it know, it'll get pretty sad. Very sad, right? Don't use the word very. It'll be
It'll
morose.
get devastating.
Yeah, it gets devastating. That's what, but it's worth it to watch.
It is. So hopefully you guys will join us next week, out there in audience land and here too in the Zoom room. So
Yes.
and then
Yes, thank
Yes.
you so
See
much for
you next
having
week.
us.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thank you for having
And
us.
you still have time to get into Edward the First this coming Saturday
Mm.
with two households.
I
more
may
readers
be
for that
busy, but I will check.
Saturday.
We
I
start
think I missed that
earlier.
event. I'll
um,
check it.
Edward the First on Saturday the 17th, starting at 3 p.m. Pacific time on two households in Fair Corona. So
Yeah, I have a thing that I'm doing at 3, actually.
Aw,
So, unfortunately, yes, I'm doing a lot of stuff though. So, yeah, it's fine. I just want to let you guys know. All right. It was good to see you guys. I have to get out.
Good to see
I gotta get up.
you.
Bye.
Yes,
Yes,
bye.
bye.
fun storm in the
Oh, I am so blessed to be able to entertain people when I can. It's a blessing.
It is.
I love this movie a lot. I will say, Catherine and Vicky, y'all killed it at doing the R. Williams. Good old job. That makes this movie also amazing. Like, come on, if Robin Williams wasn't the fucking teacher, excuse my language. Oh no, you
That's
say the A
okay.
word, ass asshole, and that's fine. And I use the F word. No.
It's
Um,
okay. You know what? He probably uses it too. And if you were alive, he'd use it too. He'd say amazing.
I feel like he did later on in his life during his stand-up. He was like, I've got to use filler words. I'm tired, you know? But yeah, I mean, it's one of the best Williams performances ever, right? And you guys didn't do like some hokey version of it. And I loved how you used good. Your diction were perfect. What was perfect? Were perfect, Haley. Your diction was real good, and you didn't like do his like an impression of him, which I really liked.
Oh yeah, don't do that.
No, right? Like, why would you do
Oh, don't do
that?
that.
Only with
I thought
Mrs.
maybe-
Doubtfire. We have to do it then.
It made me think it would be
Oh,
cool
yes.
if this was redone as like a weird off Broadway play with women instead of men, because it's an all male cast, and like what the teacher would be like, right? I could
Yeah.
see either you or
I
Vicky
wonder if they'll ever
having it.
modernize it.
That would be cool, like how they do it with sorry, what's the jury show, like play that's very famous? 12 Angry Men. They have like 12 Angry Women, right?
Oh, I was in 12 Angry Men. I was the only woman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a cast with 12 men and you were the only woman? I
Oh
bet
my
not.
goodness, no. Like not even, you know what I mean? Not if it was like 4 men in one. It's like even rare.
Well,
was-
I think we also did
Were
that.
you okay, Vicky?
It was great.
Good.
And
I like
my
to go along
birthday
with you if you
happened.
can.
My birthday happened while we were still rehearsing, and I was sung to by them all. It was like impromptu. It was so beautiful.
Oh goodness.
That seems like they were all cool.
Why does it sound like like it would be a beautiful episode of Cheers or something? Everybody just
Right.
gathered around the bar singing to the queen of the bar.
11 men, 1 woman. They're like genuinely, without being creepy, singing happy. The race.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I love that. No, I genuinely love to hear that. That play is amazing too. That's really sick. You got the 1 woman role. It's a good one. But yeah, there's
Yes.
definitely versions of like that play where it's like 12 Angry Women. And there's a couple of other things that are like that have been spun, I think, by different playwrights. That's like a normally dominantly male cast. I always find that interesting. I feel like I'm just not remembering all of them, and I wish I was a Google search engine. I'm not.
Well, I know this one's been made into a play because I've seen pictures online,
Yes.
you know.
It's
I haven't
definitely
watched
been
the
made.
plays themselves, but
Yeah, same with The Outsiders. Is that correct? That was like
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, it has. They're actually redoing that. I've read online.
Oh, they're gonna like even like
Reboot it.
Okay. Yeah.
I honestly feel like they should. I don't know if Orange is the New Black would count, but they should do the Shawshank Redemption as an all
would be-
women's film. That would be hilarious. As a woman who kills her husband and then goes through all the shiz that
I
it
love
would be
that, Heather.
freaking. I would literally be in that film. I would go throw off 3 months of my life and be in that film if it was ever made. Honest to God.
I would love that. Yeah, I'd do an extra. I would, because that's one of my favorite
know
movies.
what?
But I'm just thinking about it as women role. It works. Like it actually.
I would literally do anything to be in that type of a film. I would be the dude that, or the person that, the
I'm
girl
such
that
a
aggressively
Redditor.
killed her husband.
I'm surprised I had never heard this until now from you. You know what I mean?
But
Oh,
I like the
yeah.
roles of villainy, of anxiety. I like being in the roles of villainy, anxiety, and just all sorts of
Yeah.
crazy things where I have to stretch.
Yes, and I also love a screenplay with diversity, and think about who would play Morgan Freeman's character. I could think of like actresses I love,
Oh yes.
and I'm like, I want, yeah, right. Like that would be so good. It really would work.
I don't know. I would think maybe Sonequa Martin Green, or that one person who plays, what's her name?
Always in like Angela Bassett. I'm just kidding, but no.
Yes,
yeah,
yes, that's who I was freaking thinking of, because she does
I
such a good role
need
in
it.
911.
Yeah, she is just such a great dramatic actress. The quirky kind of rom-commy, like, or like somebody takes a chance. She had like this awesome like kind of Aaron Brockovich series or whatever. It was real cute. and she was great in it, but she's so good in dramatic stuff. And a la American History, or sorry, American Horror Story. I don't know, I said American History. Uh, I went and watched back all of her movies, which is fine. I am fine with that. But she was so good in those too, like playing
Like,
I am serious right now kind of person.
or even Michelle Hurd could do that role, because I've met Michelle Hurd in person and she's very lovely, and she just has this fire that she brought from Law and Order SVU and from Star Trek Picard. Holy
Well,
freaking
now I
heck.
know
And
who you're
Isa
talking about when you
Briones.
said that. I was like, go
And
ahead.
Isa Briones would also have to be involved in that type of a movie because they've just got the fire.
Yes, yes, yes. I have like two other people in my mind, but I can't think of them. Maybe just one, because I can't think of two.
Sorry, we're babbling so much like eager school children who want to play on the
Yeah,
playground.
I'm sorry.
I hope I get to work with you in person. I hope I get to work with all of you in person one day because it would be
Where do
freaking
you live?
fun.
So where are you, Heather?
I'm in Alberta.
Oh, weird.
Why?
Because I'm in Texas, it just makes me laugh. I'm like,
I have
so
family
far
in
away from
Texas. That's not weird.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm just thinking about how far away we are from each other. That's wild, right?
Dual citizen. Hello.
But I'm like the tip of freaking America, and you're like at the top. You're still in my same North American
Which city in
continent.
Texas?
Houston. But right now I'm
Okay.
now sitting at my parents' house in Sugar Land, which is like, it's okay.
Oh.
It's not like back country by any means, actually.
Oh, is that like Gunbarrel
It's
City and Maybank and stuff like that? Because that sounds similar.
if you know anything about Houston, do you know any kind of maybe?
No.
Well, we're just so huge, and so even slowly as I've grown up here, places like Sugar Land are getting just a lot of HEBs and a lot of traffic,
Oh,
HEBs and
HEBs.
apartments and all that. Yeah, it's not all like flat land over here.
Oh, I know. There's like lots of like trailered sale parks and billboards, and my God.
Then there are also a lot of places where there's nothing around you. It's so bizarre.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, it takes like to get to Austin, if this makes any sense, like kind of if this means anything to anybody, it takes 3.5 hours to get to Austin, Texas, which is a major city in Houston. But like I know in East Coast, like you could get to on the East Coast, you could get to a different state, like driving three.
Oh, I have a
Different
friend in
six different
Austin,
states.
so it's fun.
There we go. Yeah.
Sorry, we're just so hyper. We want to hang out.
Well, why don't I
Dallas is a
pause the
6 hour.
recording a bit and
I
then
went to
we'll
Texas
go
for
on.
my honeymoon,
Yeah.
and we stayed in Arlington, and we went to Dallas and Fort Worth, and I went
Awesome.
to